Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. And you could probably guess what we're doing here in American Truck. We are at the Tesla dealer, and we have a few pickup trucks and a few Mustangs on the back bed, but our destination is going to take us into Oregon. That's right, we're leaving Redding here and going up through Hornbrook. We'll be going through the brand new Oregon DLC, which, as you can see, these are the towns included. We have Astoria, Portland, the Dalles, or the Dallas, probably the Dalles, Pendleton, Ontario, Burns, Bend, Salem, Eugene, Newport, Coos Bay, Medford, Klamath Falls, and Lakeview. Today's journey is going to take us up the 5 through Medford, all the way through this very big truck stop over here, right through the heart of Eugene and Salem, and then up to Portland. And actually, we'll be in Washington State for a bit, according to the map. It'll be interesting to see if a welcome to Washington is here. So without further ado, that's going to be 483 miles, an 8-hour journey. It is now, 2 in the morning? Yeah, 2:15 in the morning. So by the time we do get to Oregon, the sun should be shining nice and awesome. Looks like we have a few rain drops in the forecast, but without further ado, let's get going, shall we? All right, let's pull on out of here, and we'll be making a right. Easy, don't clip those Teslas. Elon Musk will tweet about us if that is the case. All right, looking good, Christmas tree. All right. Sweet. And we are on the open road. Well, at least we will be here in a minute. We'll hop on the 5 and all will be good. But thank you for joining me for this continued series of American Truck Sim. We did the New Mexico DLC last time we finished up, so it'll be interesting to see some new sites here in Oregon. And it should be a fairly standard journey here. Once we leave Redding, we'll get up through Hornbrook and then see Oregon shortly. And the green light is on, which is outstanding. We don't have to wait for anybody. Excuse me, Senor Dodge Ram. All right, sweet. Just hop on the 5 and up we go. Now the sun should rise here in a few hours, so we've got some nighttime driving to do. And hopefully the storm will break by the time we get to Oregon, but we're heading to the Pacific Northwest. And, it's known for its rain, so it's pretty good, but there is Portland up north, and that's going to be our ultimate destination here. Let's go ahead and blend in front of this mixer truck. Excuse me, good sir. And it'll be 55 miles an hour all the way up until we get out of California. It'll be interesting to see if the speed limit goes up when we do get to Oregon. I'm not sure what the Oregon speed limit is in the grand scheme of things, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And from what I understand, Oregon has a lot of bridges, so there will be a lot of bridges to cross. Yeah, sun should come up, and I like how the highway is nice and illuminated. These are very reminiscent of the lights that I've seen in Washington State along the highway. I used to live up in Washington State in the Tacoma area, so right off of I-5. And I really can't wait until they get the Washington DLC done, because that's an area of the country that I'm actually a little bit familiar with, at least the Tacoma area. I didn't make my way up to Seattle much, so once we get to the middle of Washington, that'll be my old stomping ground. So if you are from Oregon, feel free to comment in the comments below. Let me know what you see, if you recognize any cities, or if the feel of the DLC is very Oregon-like. The New Mexico DLC was pretty accurate from what a New Mexico resident told me, so I'm excited to see how those of you from Oregon see your state here represented in American Truck. Now, where I'm actually living now is quite a ways away from the west coast of America, so we won't get to my actual home anytime soon unless the modding community does a lot of work. And I mean, the coast-to-coast mod is okay, but it's, assets that were already included in the game. And with this new DLC and all the new bridges, all the new trees, all the new assets that are included with the DLC, it should make the coast-to-coast map a little bit more fleshed out. I mean, granted, it's not going to be the expected quality of SCS and their team, but hopefully SCS can improve the speed at which these DLCs come out. It's been a year. Well, next month it would be a year since the New Mexico DLC came out. It came out in November of last year. Oh, come on, bus. You're really going to rolling roadblock me here. Tell you what, wouldn't make any sense to hop on over, so we'll just hope that this bus passes this semi here. Also included with the latest patch, I do have a trailer of my own. I've invested in a double refrigerated trailer. Well, looks like the rain has stopped. Outstanding. All right, go ahead and move on over. There you go. But since we last played American Truck Sim, I've played a lot off camera, driving around and achievement hunting, and before the Oregon DLC came out, or at least the patch, I had 100% achievements on American Truck Sim, and now there are 12 new achievements for Oregon, and I don't know if we'll be able to get every single one of those on camera as we do this series, but much like the New Mexico DLC, I'll look at every town. I won't drive every road for sure, but we'll at least go through every town in Oregon and take a look at what Oregon has to offer. But we're not even out of California yet. Sun's going to rise in about an hour, so we've only got about an hour of darkness before, and we're almost going through Hornbrook. So we're getting close to Northern California and Southern Oregon. Hopefully we'll at least see the Welcome to Oregon sign, because that's always like a big deal when you travel across the country in the United States. Well, at least you used to. Whenever you went on a big road trip, you stopped at all of the states, the welcome to signs, and you took a picture. But nowadays I don't know if that is sort of a tradition or not, but for our American truck, it's always good to see that you are in a new area. Always exciting. So yes, indeed, this is as far as north as we've ever been. You can see Hornbrook is basically a rest stop and one drop-off. And now, as of officially, right? Now, we are in uncharted territory, north on the 5. So this is where those arrows would normally be in American Truck Sim, so everything that we see from here on out will be brand new. And speaking of brand new, what came out with the patch, I noticed the traffic has some new traffic models, and one is actually like a side-by-side. It's like a Yamaha side-by-side, or like one of those four-wheel ATVs that farmers use on their farms, and they actually drive on the highway. And of course they don't get up to 55 miles an hour, so we have to look out for that. But we should be nearing the Oregon border here shortly, and the sun is about to rise just as the sun rises on a brand new series, so it's kind of cathartic. And it looks like they may be checking up here in the right-hand lane. We have the Port of Entry Way Station. Interesting. Oh, there's something cool up there on the hill. Don't know exactly what that is. Oh, 60 miles an hour. So we must be getting close to Oregon. Trucks right lane only. All right, we'll go up to 60. Pull in for a vehicle inspection. So we can't enter any new state without getting weighed. So we're entering our first little rest stop here, 35 miles an hour. And the last way station that I checked, can we go over here? Does this count? This is for my experimentation purposes here. It's cool if this is going to be the standard for way stations. That way you don't have to line up beside anybody. So is this going to count? Pass the inspection, yes indeed. 55,300 pounds. We're going to come out behind that truck there. But a pretty cool rest area, and I think that's a new feature for this DLC, is that the truck stops feel nice and big. So that's always good, especially when you've got a double or a triple and there's not a whole lot of room to move around, you kind of want that extra space. And you kind of want parking spaces that you can pull straight through, because backing up a double or a triple trailer is a logistical nightmare as far as that's concerned. All right, out on the open road, let's get up to 60 miles an hour here. We're speeding a bit. There we go. Now we're back under the speed limit. Let's drop the hammer. I have the biggest engine in this Kenworth W900, so shouldn't take us that long to get up to speed and then up to our 60 miles an hour. And we should be in Oregon, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't seen any sign officially yet, but as the sun rises, we'll be able to see the new signs. And we are coming up on South Medford, exit 99. Well, there's a cool little town. Hello, South Medford. If there's more design as far as getting towns feeling bigger, that'd be really cool. Here's the South Medford exit. And yeah, it looks like it all funnels in that way to the left, and I assume that's Highway 90. There's some new artwork. Looks like some sharks on the overpasses there. Kind of cool stuff. Will we get credit for Medford as we drive by? That is the question. We're passing the North Medford exit, 65 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and get up to speed. And we passed Medford, but we did not get credit for visiting it. So we will be making a stop later in this series to Medford. Oh, it's 60, huh? Why you gotta be difficult, man? So 60 miles an hour here. We'll go ahead and settle in behind this SUV. And we have the North Eugene exit coming up. And I thought we would get some credit for passing through these towns as we go through. There's a split road that's going to be difficult. We're not going to get credit for seeing across the street there. Well, there's a, wow, nice shopping center over to the right. Can't tell exactly what businesses are there. It's a welcome center, but unfortunately we cannot visit it. So welcome, stay away. That's sort of what I get here. Yeah, I don't like how close we are to this SUV, but we'll just keep on going. We could get into the left lane. More income from the drivers. Holy crap, Rozarka. Doing the work, $6,000. I like it. And Rozarka is leveled. Good on you, Rozarka. Yeah, so Medford is over the hills to the left there, and we do not get credit for visiting it. So unfortunately, we won't be able to take any quick jobs, but we're passing Eureka and Coos Bay. Go ahead and follow this Charger on around. But yeah, I'm liking the feel. I like how there are things just off the road that makes it feel built up, that we're actually passing civilization and, you know, places other than the places that we're going. Now, of course, we can't visit those, but it's always good to be able to drive through and feel like the world is lived in. That we're not just driving into an isolated part here. Trucks in the right two lanes. We might as well get over to the right lane. Oh, nice, got some patchwork there on the divider between the lanes. And since we're not having an emergency, we're not going to park. Kind of be redundant to park, I think. But yeah, a lot of trees up here as expected. The Beaver State. All right, I have to merge. Oh, you silly sod. Stupid Dodge. Who drives a Magnum anyway? Get out of here. Now, I wonder, they passed that law, I think, earlier in the last year or so that people can pump their own gas in Oregon, and that used to be a thing when I drove through Oregon, Canyonville in a mile. When we drove through Oregon, what was a big deal? I'm trying to tell a story here. But as I drove through Oregon on my way from the Midwest to Fort Lewis, Washington, I drove through Oregon on the northern highway that sort of split the states in two. And when I filled up there, it was very disconcerting. It caught me off guard that I could not pump my own fuel. I got out of the car thinking nothing of it, and this guy comes running out of the gas station screaming, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold up, hold up, hold up." And I'm like, what? Hold up what? And then I learned that you could not pump your own gas in Oregon. At least you couldn't at a time. And I remember reading the news story about people freaking out like, I've never filled up in my life. I don't know how to fill up my own car. And it's like, really? It's kind of interesting. Big truck stop over there to the left that we can go eventually. It's like an eagle or something on the sign, can't really tell. But I do like the look of the brand new, very large truck stops. I have a feeling we'll be visiting those a little bit in our playthrough. I'll try to record the episodes to where I'm fueled up and rested so we don't have to really stop anywhere unless a way station decides to be difficult. But, you know, we may stop on in to a truck stop, see what it's all about. I know this is far into the future, but once they get to Iowa, that'd be really cool. And they have to put in I-80. It's like a very massive truck stop that's like 2 or 3 levels tall and just massive. I mean, trucks sit inside and all the truck accessories you could possibly want on the shelves, and it looks pretty cool. Nice. I don't know what river this is, but we're heading north on I-5, so, you know, I'm sure if you looked on a map, you would see this river. This thing seems to go a ways, huh? It's pretty cool indeed. We'll just pass up this Jeep. Continue into unknown territory here. Oh, and we have to pull in to the way station, so that's a little bit of a pain. Excuse me, sir. Let's go ahead and move on over and weigh a second time. We should be about the same weight, probably a little lighter. From, if you had a keen eye and watched my New Mexico series, you might notice that I am no longer a day cab, so I have a big 300-gallon fuel tank rather than like a 150, so carrying double the fuel here, mainly so we don't have to fill up. And we'll just follow this logging truck on through, and it looks like it's one of those, oh, he's not going to weigh in. I'll tell you, this place almost looks like an outhouse, if I'm honest. It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, and if you have to pee, just come on in. All right, there we go. Weighing is done, and away we go. And it looks like this bulldozer transporter got into a little bit of trouble. There's the Oregon Police. I don't know if that was the Oregon State Police skin, or if it's the town that this is associated with. Not familiar with police vehicles, so if you know, leave a comment below. Let me know exactly what skin that was. But back up to 60 miles an hour now on our way to Portland. And just take a look at this view. I mean, we got campers down there right off the highway, making the world feel lived in. 55 miles an hour, and that was the name of the river. I missed it, actually. So, an answer to our question on what exactly river that was, and I missed it. We'll get around this bus. He seems to be going really slow. I'll tell you, the shadows are playing tricks on me. From the trees, it's like something's growing out of the dividing median, but upon further reflection, it's actually shadow, believe it or not. Yeah, we're making good time here on the outside. Wow, that's a pretty big farm or something over there. I saw a few silos. And this is pretty cool, this feeling of coming out of the hills into the clearing, and feels like you could see for miles, man. They do a really good job, and oh, a harvested field. Yeah, I've actually been playing some Farming Sim 2017 to get ready for Farming Sim 2019 coming out in November, so I've been seeing my fair share of harvested fields for sure, and I can't wait for Farming Sim 2019. I probably won't play it on the channel because it's pretty grindy, but you know, there's some good content creators out there that can make a story out of it and whatnot. I'm just not that creative. Yeah, this rest stop off to our right feels like a really good rest stop. Driving across the country myself, I've seen rest stops where, you know, there's the information center and some places to pull off, and it feels like a better rest stop than the base game. Well, I say base game, but the early game rest stops that's just sort of like a gravel road. You know, it's like, yeah, rest stop. Yeah, we're following pretty close, and let's be a bad driver here. We'll lane change backwards and forth. This guy's peeing on the wheels of progress here. We'll continue on. Of course, he's going to pick up speed. I think it's a divided speed highway, so everyone else is going 65 while we're trying to go 60, and they're just sort of holding us up. But man, just like off the side of that guardrail, just seeing all the hills back there, it's crazy. All right, so another interchange is coming up, and a lot of big power lines along this road up north. It makes me wonder, is Portland supplied by outside power like this? Are there big power plants down south, and all these power lines are running there? Oh, some sort of distribution center. Maybe an Amazon or a Walmart distribution center. Look pretty big, and kind of a missed opportunity. Oh wow, that's cool. Big river there. Kind of a, what in the world is that? Yeah, I'm sure people familiar with Oregon and I-5 would be able to identify exactly what monument that was or what that said, but I just completely missed it. Yeah, take a look at these overpasses, man. These interchanges are huge. It kind of reminds me of the Albuquerque overpasses in the New Mexico DLC that just felt really big and massive. I mean, look at the GPS. Roads come in from all directions, and it's pretty big. Pretty big indeed. There's a city skyline of Eugene. Now, I've never seen Eugene in real life, so I don't know if this is what the skyline of Eugene looks like, but it looks pretty built up, and in fact, I didn't think it was so big that it needed an interchange such as that. And looking at the GPS, we even have a bigger interchange on top of that. So Eugene, there's two pretty big ways in and out of town, which is really good. Helps you get in and out quickly. I didn't know Eugene was this big. Learn something new every day. And those are some interesting design. I mean, those overpasses, it's just cool how they designed it. It's not your standard four-leaf clover overpass. Roads coming in at different angles and whatnot. It's like somehow city skylines, really. Oh, and that is a highway we can drive on. Don't know exactly which highway that was, but that's cool. So once we pass Eugene, I believe our next pass through was Salem. Was that the thing? We got Bend coming up. And Albany. I'm not sure exactly, are we going to get credit for driving through those towns either. We haven't really driven through any towns. Hello, Mr. Mustang. I'm carrying your brothers on the back of my trailer from Tesla. I'm sure that makes your head spin. Yeah, we should be pulling up into Albany and Bend shortly. Another overpass. I mean, this is really cool. Oh, sorry. Don't look and drive, kids. Don't have your head on a swivel while you drive. It's not considered good practice if you want to stay in your lane. Oh, an airport. A biplane up there. That's pretty cool. So is this the Eugene airport, or is this more Albany? Oh, crap, I'm doing it again. Let's get on my side there, Sokka. Or is this more of the Eugene or Bend or Albany airport, I wonder? But we're seeing signs from Portland, so the end might be near. Maybe. We're getting close, though. And we have plenty of cool stuff to see. There's like a big lake. And like a... Is that natural land going through the middle, or was that man-made? A little bridge there. Hello, FCP. Hey, you know me. Now, I'm running the company's mod off the workshop. Now, I don't think new companies that were added will count. And, you know, an update, a quick JPEG swap or a DDS swap, whatever the format is. Hey, there we go. We have Salem discovered. So that is one town at least that we've seen in Oregon instead of driving by, although, you know, we might be able to pay a visit to Salem proper, go downtown a bit and see what Salem is all about. Now Salem, when you think Salem, or at least when I do, I still think Massachusetts and witch trials. Makes me wonder if there were some witches here in Salem, Oregon that were burned at the stake or whatever. Probably not. Oregon wasn't a state until late. Much later than witchcraft for sure. I don't know. When was Oregon a state? I know it went like Oregon, Washington, and then Alaska, Hawaii. And Alaska was what, 1870, 1880, Seward's Folly and all that stuff? Not sure. But yeah, very nice and scenic through here. I imagine like the big city feel is going to really hit when we get to Portland. We've got this sort of outskirts and intercity travel. And then as soon as we round, yep, here we go. Did I call that or what? We're starting to see the skyline now of Portland. And Portland was massive when I drove through. I came in from the east side whenever I drove up to Washington. I sort of followed the northern highway right along the river. And then once I got into Portland, I got on the 5 and went north. And I tell you, things were looking good. And wow, got a, there's Portland discovered. Have sort of an automated lift there through the heart of the city. That's cool. And yeah, this just feels massive right here. Multi-lanes with multi-lane exits. This feels like a proper big city for sure. So if you're from Portland, is this your point of view coming from the south? Is this what Portland feels like, I wonder? Because it feels big to me. Oh, big climb here. Up and over. Yeah, and massive tall buildings off to the left there. Yeah, and bridges upon bridges. I imagine Portland, oh wow. It's kind of got a San Francisco vibe with all the bridges, but really cool stuff indeed. So we want to be off to the right here. Let's go ahead and get into the lane. And we're heading up to Washington. So I wonder, are we going to cross the river? Or have we already crossed the river and I missed it, I wonder? Not entirely sure. Portland's one of those cities that I think you'll have to really explore and drive around to get a feel of it. And if this is how big cities are going to be in the future, I am pretty excited. Yeah, this just feels massive over here. Sort of a warehouse, industrial area. Lots of bridges. I think that bridge off to the left was the one I took to Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and some twins right there. I'm not sure exactly what those buildings are. In a sort of like an arena over there. Is that where the Trailblazers play, or the Timbers? I know they have an MLS team, and I know they have the Trailblazers in the NBA, but I don't exactly know what their arenas look like. But pretty cool to see some built up, you know, cities and arenas. Makes you feel that you're like really in a really built up area. So we should be driving on through past Portland, and I think we might have cleared the river. So we should be in Washington, if memory serves. We'll see if we can see any identifying signs that tell us that we're in Washington State or not. But according to the map, we were. Although, you know, compressed maps kind of give you difficulty if you want to build out a city, but you have to stick to a compressed scale. The things that you want to put in, you know, you don't want to make those guys, like the arenas, you don't want to make those 4 times smaller like the map. So you kind of give up space the more that you extend it out. So we could still be in Portland in air quotes, but geographically we're in Washington State. Who knows? Actually, I think we're going to the Portland Airport. So we're going to the Portland Airport in Washington State. Or shoot, would? No. The Portland Airport wouldn't actually be in Washington State, would it? I mean, if... Huh. That's a good question. Are there any airports named after a local town that they're not actually in the city limits of, or does the city limits of Portland extend over the river? Yeah, because that's the 22-mile marker. We're 22 miles into Washington State right now. And if Portland extended 22 miles into Washington, that'd be huge. I don't know geography. But I do know we have the destination on our GPS now, so the trip is coming to a close. Make sure we're clear to exit, as I imagine the exit is our next destination here. And we cannot continue on to Vancouver. And it's kind of odd that they're, and you know, highways do the actual same thing. It's kind of odd with their advertising Vancouver instead of Seattle. I mean, Tacoma or Seattle is going to be the next big city that you get to if you stay, well, maybe not on this highway, now that I think about it. Cool. All right, so we're making a left turn at Northeast Airport Road. Have a nice apartment complex right there. That'd kind of be handy to live there, right next to an interstate. You know, you could just hop on the interstate and get to the airport. It'd be handy if you were traveling a lot. And Portland back to the left, of course. We're not going to go back down south. And no right turn because, well, the map isn't finished and it would be the wrong way. So that would be a double no-no. All right, come on, bus. Let's get moving here. There we go. Hello, police officer. We are not speeding. And yeah, we're just a little bit away from the airport here. 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. And this is really picturesque approach for an airport. You know, usually airports are right off the highway and they feel really streamlined. They feel like you're sort of dumped off of the highway directly in the airport terminal. So to have a nice highway drive up is pretty cool. Lots of bushes and trees. And are we going to get caught by this light? We are indeed. So a left turn only. I'm going to hang back here and see which light goes first. It looks like we can get to the drop-off point either way. There we go. So green light to the left. Here we go. Red light. What do you mean red light offense? Oh crap, it's a train. Can we beat the train? Nope. All right, so we just were involved in an invisible wall incident with the train. Now I don't see exactly which way the train was coming, but we're clear now. There's a drop-off point there, and we're just up here on the right. Wait, what do you mean no right turn? Do not enter. Well, I'm not turning around. We'll see. We'll be a cheeky bugger. We're gonna go on through and just do this thing. Because why not? I mean, why would there be two lanes here? I mean, besides the obvious of left turn, right turn only. Don't correct me. Oh, crap. All right, so coming to a gate. Is the guard going up? Yay. Thank you, gate guard. I mean, that would have been impossible to try to turn around right there. So good on the game for making me feel less of an idiot. And thank you to the programmers that realized I might need to turn around or go through the gate. All right, so there's our drop off there. Let's go ahead and spin it around. Here we are at the Portland International Cargo Terminal. So these Teslas are going to be flying out of Portland to who knows where. Probably big buyers in Austin, Texas or something. All right, I think we can do a blind reverse here. Let's go ahead and set up for the blind reverse. We should be okay. All right, we'll pull up, get the funny angle on it, and then we'll start our turn here. Of course, we can't look out the back as we have a sleeper. You know, I kind of wish we had a day cab on a big fuel tank. That way you could still look out the back and not have a sleeper, but still have the good fuel capacity to go around the United States. That'd be kind of clever. I'd like it. All right, we're going to miss that truck, and everything is coming. What did we hit? Oh, hello, pole. All right, so we're not going to do a blind side reverse. Fine. We'll go around, we'll hang a left, and we'll come back in on short side. And we'll just back it in this way then if the game wants to be difficult. Clip those poles just a little bit. You know, the load's fragile, but you know what? If you can afford a Tesla, you can afford to pay to fix the paint. Awesome. All right, let's back it on in there. Let's get this thing turning, and this is much easier. Should have done this in the first place in hindsight, but that's 2020, as per usual. We'll just settle it in right here next to the other trailer. Now, my real trailer that I bought in the 132 patch is sitting in Las Vegas, so I am not going to drive all the way back down there to get a double refrigerator. So we'll just pick up local loads, maybe even here at the airport, see where this airport cargo is going, and make those trips. Awesome. Let's go ahead and press T and drop the trailer and see what we got here. A satisfactory delivery. We must have did some damage here. There we go. There's our damage penalty. And we leveled up. Outstanding. Let's go ahead and look at our skill points. And we are 1 skill point shy from maxing out long distance, and that's going to give us unlimited mileage. But we can do 2,500 miles as of now. So one thing I'm going to look at is from Portland, in the farthest extreme, most northwestern part of the map, basically, can we get down to the northeast? Yeah, I mean, the delivery is not even close. We don't need to take that next level of long distance yet. We'll just put it in eco driving and accept that. So the next few levels, until they make enough DLC that the unlimited mileage is worth it, we'll just do eco. But that is going to do it for me in this episode of American Truck Sim. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will pick up more in the Oregon DLC when I return in the next video. Take care.